He says his country's trade deal with China is done. The president is reportedly reviewing the details with his team before signing on the dotted line, but he said China will supply the states with magnets and rare earth minerals, and the states will maintain a 55% tariff. The deal comes as U.S. auto manufacturers were starting to feel the pinch as China had stopped shipping important car parts. Our deal with China is done, U.S. President Donald Trump wrote on Truth Social this morning, adding the relationship is excellent. While neither side has formally said what's included in the deal, Trump's post says Beijing will supply magnets and rare earth minerals, while the states will allow Chinese students in its colleges and universities. Washington will also reportedly maintain a 55% tariff on Chinese goods, while China will still tax American goods at 10%.
China has agreed to open their markets to the United States separately of this deal, and when it comes to this deal, we're going back to the terms that were agreed upon in Geneva for the release of some of those critical minerals and the magnets from China to the United States, and we have agreed to fully comply with the Geneva Agreement as well.
Both Trump and his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, still need to give final approval to the terms negotiated in Geneva last month and then agreed upon in London last night, though it's not clear how long these terms will last, especially since the Geneva talks had stalled on the issue of earth minerals.
Rare earths are used in just about every technological application you can think of. So if you picture your cell phone or medical technology or military technology or energy generation technology or petroleum refining, rare earth elements likely have a role in those technologies.
In a follow-up post online, Trump writes that he's going to work closely with Xi to open up China to American trade, adding this would be a great win for both countries. Today, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who attended the talks in London, urged Beijing to be a reliable partner in trade negotiations.
If China will course correct by upholding its end of the initial trade agreement we outlined in Geneva, and I believe after our talks in London they will, then the rebalancing of the world's two largest economies is possible.
The deal comes as Washington and Beijing had been trading escalating blows in their trade war. U.S. auto manufacturers were starting to feel the pinch after China stopped exporting critical minerals needed to make cars. And the states responded by preventing shipments of semiconductor design software, aircrafts, and other goods. The Treasury Secretary says China is just one of many countries the U.S. is negotiating with to reach trade deals before more tariffs are expected in the summer.
There are 18 important trading partners. We are working toward deals on those, and it is highly likely that those countries that are negotiating or trading blocs, as in the case of the EU, who are negotiating in good faith, we will roll the date forward to continue in good faith.
Germany's chancellor welcomes the news of a deal between two of the world's largest economies and says he hopes it bodes well for Washington's negotiation with the European Union.
Das geht nicht zulasten Europas, sondern das ist ein.
The question of if President Trump can place duties on trading partners is still before the courts, but a federal court of appeals has officially ruled that the levies can stay in place while a decision is being made. The deal comes as the United States releases its latest inflation numbers, and while the consumer price index ticked up slightly to 2.4% last month, the U.S. economy really hasn't seen any major impacts from these tariffs.
It's quite possible that higher tariffs will in fact later on translate to higher inflation, but it simply has not happened yet.
Economists believe this means companies are absorbing the losses from tariffs so far, but still predict a modest increase in inflation in the second half of this year. Companies like Walmart and Lululemon are already warning customers of higher price tags on the way.